Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year's Eve to everyone. So, welcome to my channel, and good morning to you again. So, I came on to talk about why God had to crush me this year, and I just recently realized it. Um, and I knew I had to talk about my diabetes, but I didn't know how to talk about it. So you'll see me look down because I did write down some notes. But just to start at the beginning so you can understand. So back in 2000, I found out that I was diabetic, pre-diabetic rather. And my doctor told me, he was like, you can control it, it won't become you won't become a full diabetic if you control it with what you eat. Um, Me being me, didn't listen, and eventually I did become a full-blown diabetic because of the things that I was eating and not paying attention and just not either understanding or just not wanting to, like, I just want it to go away. you know I didn't want to feel like, oh my God, I'm a diabetic. I just wanted it to go away, so in my mind it wasn't there. So I continued to eat the way that I was eating, which was not good. So I didn't take it serious, so I became a full-blown diabetic to the point where now my A1C was at I think 7 at the time, but then it rose to, I think, either a 9 or a 10, somewhere around there, to the point where I had to be put on metformin, which is a medication for diabetics. So I had to start taking metformin. Um, Once again, it was so out of whack that I went to the doctors in my gynecologist, as a matter of fact. I went to my gynecologist, and because I wasn't, like I said, wasn't eating the right way, my gynecologist said, listen, there's a lot of sugar in your urine, and your number is up by 400. We want you to go to the hospital. So I wound up going to the hospital, and they get my number down. And again, I'm saying, my doctor then put me on a shot called Trulicity to help with that. So now I'm also taking a shot, which is Trulicity, and I'm also taking metformin. I think it was twice a day. And eventually it got to the point where the diabetes was so bad that GERD, I already had GERD, but GERD took over really bad to the point where I couldn't even drink coffee. I couldn't drink coffee. Anything that was acidic, I could not eat it or drink it or anything like that, because if I did, I was in the bed for 3 or 4 days sick. My stomach was just bothering me to the point where it was just so bad I couldn't eat anything. So then there was a lot of things that I couldn't eat, like I said, with the GERD and the diabetes. And you look it up, and I'm saying people who have diabetes, I'm saying GERD can kick in really badly, and it did for me. Um, so that was from like 2021 to like 2023. So this year, um, 2024, I got sick. Didn't know I was sick, but I got sick. And like I said, my numbers were always out of whack. I'm going to put some pictures up of my numbers as well. My numbers were always out of whack. Like, it didn't matter what I ate. My numbers were either like 200, almost 300. And I had to be careful with everything that I ate. That's how bad it was. And then, like I said, I got sick in April. I started getting sick because it was right before my birthday. And I started getting sick in April to the point where I was sick on my birthday, which is April 30th. And I had to go to the emergency room. And once I went to the emergency room, that's when I found out, oh, no, no, no. My numbers were still high. I'm saying like they were getting high. But I had to, okay, so I was in the emergency room on my birthday and I was sick with stomach problems. And then May, we had to move. So I was, like I said, starting to get sick, and in May we had to move. So we were moving, and I think it was like towards the end of May we were moving, and my daughter and my son were helping us move. And my daughter said to me, "Mom, your eyes are yellow." So I'm like, maybe they're, I'm saying yellow because I'm tired, or maybe I'm dehydrated because also my urine became very yellow. And I said, well, maybe I'm dehydrated. So I decided to go to the ER to, no, I went to urgent care. I went to urgent care. Urgent care sent me to the ER because they said something about they didn't have something, I'm saying, to test me or whatever. So they sent me to the ER. So went to the ER, and now I find out I have jaundice. And not only do I have jaundice, but I also have pancreatitis going on. So they, of course, keep me. Um, and that's when it all began. Like, I was in and out of the hospital in pain, a lot of pain, back and forth in and out of the hospital, at least 3 times, because of the pain. And then finally, after I think the second time, or the third time, I said, you know what, I'm not going home because I don't know what the heck is going on or whatever. I'm not going home. I just didn't want to be in the hospital. It was just so uncomfortable in the beds and everything. So, but after the third time, Mr. Monk was like, listen, you need to stay in the hospital, you know what I'm saying, so they can find out what's going on. So, like I said, they were treating the jaundice. I also had a lot of bile in my blood. So I was itchy, a lot of itching going on, you know what I'm saying? There was just so much going on. It was crazy. So when I did get out of the hospital, because they did like 2 or 3 or 4 surgeries where they had to put a splint in my bile. And the first time it disappeared, the splint they put in. And then the second time, um, they couldn't find it. It just disappeared. So they had to put another one in. The third time, it stayed. And so once I got out of the hospital after all of that, them getting that under control, come to find out I have to have a major surgery because, like I said, my pancreas is I had stuff going on with my pancreas where they had to cut a piece off of it, and just a whole, I had a glob of mucus in my stomach that they had to get out. And so, but in the meantime, the surgeon is saying to me, I can't do the surgery unless we get your numbers down. We don't get your numbers down, we can't do the surgery, because if I do the surgery, you could have a stroke on the table. So I'm like, oh my God. Okay, all right. So those couple months that I had to, between July and August, I had to get my, yeah, between June and August, I had to, the end of June to August, I had to get my numbers down and keep them down. So when I tell you, God had to break me down, you hear me? He had to break me down because I was like, oh my God, Lord, please help me with this because I don't even know if I can get through this. I think that diabetes is going to take me out of this world. So finally, my doctor was working with me. He put me on a two. Now I've had two shot things that I was taking on top of the pills and the metformin. And so that was helping me help it keep it down, but I had to watch everything I was eating on top of that, and I felt like I was starving. So finally, the day come, August 7th, I had to go back in the hospital for the surgery called the Whipple surgery, for them to do the surgery on me. But when I tell you that was very painful for them to, they didn't even at the time touch my pancreas. They just went near my pancreas. But because they had to go near my pancreas, it's still like it brushed, it kind of brushed it, I guess, and had me in so much pain that it was not even funny. So in the hospital, they had me on pain medicine all the time. And so once I also, like, let me back up a little bit. I also, when I was going through that, I asked God to please take diabetes out of my body because it was too much for me to bear. It really, really was. Um, and I asked God to please take it out of my body, either take it out of my body or help me control it, one, Lord. So once I got done with the surgery, and after 7 days or something like that, I think I came home. I had to deal with a lot with pain with my stomach and just healing. But when I tell you, God did it. My numbers now, I'm going to show you pictures of my numbers now. My numbers are so low right now. The GERD is not there. I'm able to enjoy, and I just started back, like the end of last month. I just started back drinking coffee because I was so afraid to drink coffee. But when I tell you my numbers are low, I'm able to drink coffee. Um, Even when I eat certain things now, I think the highest my number has been was like 150, 154, something like that. God did it. He answered my prayers, and he definitely has this under control because, man, when I tell you, I'm a greedy person sometimes, and when I tell you I love to eat. Now, when I say he broke me down, he broke me down. Also, all my life, I've worried about my weight. As a matter of fact, before I got sick, I was at 170 pounds. But now I'm at like 150, and it's not easy for me to gain weight now. I've been trying to gain weight because I feel like I'm too skinny, but I lost a lot of weight from being sick and being in the hospital and going through this process. And it's crazy how, like I said, before I always wanted to lose weight. Now I'm trying to gain weight, And so it's just crazy how life works and how God works. But yes, God has done it. He definitely has. And I am here to give him the glory for my story, because if it wasn't for the God above, the Lord, I wouldn't be here, number one. And number two, I'd still be dealing with this diabetes, to the point where it probably would take me out of here. Um, so I just want to give you guys my story, about how I give God the glory for what I went through and what He has brought me through. So, guys, please like, subscribe, and share, and have a blessed year, because 2025 is definitely going to be a great year. All right, guys, God bless you.